With our kids, everybody vanished. Like they were just like the two of us. Like that was how good it was. Like I really felt connected to the
Yeah, it was pretty.
Things are getting hotter than ever on Hunt for Love as 90-day Fiancé fan favorites Chantel and Jeniffer continue to stir up serious drama and desire. But what really happened between them after the cameras stopped rolling? A shocking revelation just changed everything fans thought they knew. During a steamy group challenge, cast members were thrown into an unexpected kissing competition. That's when Chantel made a bold move, choosing none other than Jen as her kissing partner. Before locking lips, she even teased, "Would you like it?" A moment that left viewers and castmates gasping. The kiss was fiery, passionate, and completely unforgettable. The room erupted in cheers, but behind the scenes, emotions were even more complicated. Chantel, clearly shaken yet intrigued by the experience, later confessed that she had been questioning her sexual orientation for some time. She admitted to feeling a spark with a female friend in the past, but nothing as intense as this. Now, her moment with Jen might have pushed her even closer to discovering the truth about her identity. But the plot thickens. Later that night, behind closed doors and away from the cameras, Chantel claims that Jen approached her again. During a revealing segment of Between the Sheets, Chantel spilled to co-star Rob Warne. "When I was in the bathroom, she kissed me again that night." Rob, visibly stunned, pressed her for details, unsure if she was joking or being serious. Chantel confirmed it really happened, but admitted she chose to keep it under wraps. "I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. I just wanted to act like it didn't happen." She feared the judgment, the rumors, and what it would mean for her own journey. But her quiet discretion didn't stop Jen from continuing to flirt and possibly invite Chantel to spend time with her off-camera. According to Chantel, she declined and tried to set boundaries. But hey, race where things get messy. When Jen was confronted about the late-night kiss, she flat out denied it. With a smirk, she laughed it off, saying, "I did it for the game. I did it for the Olympics." She brushed it off like it was just another dramatic twist in a reality TV show, but fans aren't convinced. In fact, many are calling her out, saying Chantel has no reason to lie and questioning Jen's intentions on the show altogether. Meanwhile, Jen continues to play the field on Hunt for Love, bouncing between Rob and Colt while simultaneously stirring up sexual tension wherever she goes. Is she genuinely exploring her feelings, or is this just another game to stay in the spotlight? As the season unfolds, fans are watching closely to see whether Chantel will continue to open up about her identity, and if Jen's denials are just another calculated move. One thing's for sure, whatever happened that night has changed their dynamic forever. So, did Chantel and Jen's passionate kiss lead to something more off-screen? And who's really telling the truth?
Has anybody got thoughts?
There's nothing more than the fact that he was looking gorgeous on them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that he looks super sexy, but you really can see how depth he has. He can be whatever.
Wait, Jen! You were with him, had a little sleepover or something went down. Does he still look like that?
Elise Benson didn't come to Hunt for Love to play it safe, and she's certainly not holding back when it comes to calling out the men who crossed her. The 90-day Fiancé newcomer quickly became a fan favorite for her bold personality, fearless attitude, and the way she shuts down games the moment she spots them. And her latest target? Rob Warne, a familiar face with a controversial past, and now, even more secrets coming to light. Elise's first interaction with Rob was electric. Their chemistry was undeniable, and things escalated quickly. So quickly, in fact, that many assumed something more may have happened between them that night. But what seemed like a connection soon turned into a cautionary tale. Elise later accused Rob of manipulating her emotions and using their intimate moment to clean up his damaged image. What she didn't know at the time, Rob allegedly wasn't being truthful about his relationship status. Elise was blindsided when she discovered he hadn't been as single as he claimed, and that had already moved on to Jeniffer, wasting no time jumping from one woman to the next. But Elise wasn't about to let it slide. The situation exploded when Jen implied Elise had slept with Rob. Elise, taken aback by the bold assumption, confronted Jen directly on camera, and in true Benson fashion, she turned the tables. Jen tried to be flirty and coy, even using a childhood photo of Rob as a segue to bond with him. But Elise quickly brought up their little sleepover, cornering Jen into revealing what really happened. Jen slipped up, admitting it didn't have to involve sex to count as a night together, essentially confirming what everyone suspected. Fans praised Elise for her sharp wit and ability to make Jen confess without raising her voice. Still, Elise wasn't done. While romance may have fizzled on the show, she walked away with something even more powerful: alliances. She formed close bonds with several castmates, often sharing their hangouts and adventures on social media. But her most jaw-dropping post came recently when she uploaded a selfie that sent shockwaves through the fandom: Elise Benson and Rob Warne's ex-wife, Sophie Sierra, together in Los Angeles. That's right, two of Rob's most vocal critics were seen hanging out, and fans immediately began to speculate. Is this a takedown duo in the making? Sophie Sierra, a 90-day Fiancé veteran, has long accused Rob of gaslighting her and shifting the blame for their failed marriage. She's even confronted him publicly with receipts, including screenshots of his flirty online conversations with men, which she revealed on The Last Resort, claiming Rob is queer and still hiding the truth. Now, with Elise revealing her own messages from Rob, messages that show he was flirting with her after their on-screen hookup, fans are beginning to wonder if Sophie and Elise are teaming up for something big. During their LA meetup, Elise also connected with other franchise stars, including Aaliyah, Sean, and Courtney, sparking rumors of a major cast alliance or even an off-camera project. So what's really going on here? Did Rob truly manipulate Elise for redemption? Is he still hiding the full truth about his sexuality and relationship history? And are Elise and Sophie plotting a long overdue expose on one of 90 Days' most controversial men? One thing's clear: Elise Benson isn't just exposing red flags, she's waving them on camera, behind the scenes, and now, possibly with backup. Grab your popcorn, because the hunt for love drama just evolved into a full-on franchise scandal. The Mexico getaway for Throuple Matt, Amani, and Annie was supposed to be a romantic milestone, a chance to finally bond face-to-face and strengthen their unique polyamorous relationship. But just hours into the trip, things took a sharp turn into betrayal, heartbreak, and raw confessions. The drama kicked off during the March 16th episode of 90 Day Fiancé, right after Matt and Amani touched down in Tijuana to meet Annie in person for the very first time. At first, it seemed like the trio was headed for an unforgettable vacation, but what happened next shattered the illusion of unity. That night, after a failed attempt to engage intimately as a group, since Amani wasn't feeling well, Matt and Annie ended up having sex alone in their hotel room. But the true shock came the next day, when Annie casually revealed their steamy encounter in a hotel hot tub, with Amani sitting right there. Visibly stunned, Amani tried to keep her composure as Matt sheepishly responded, "I didn't think anyone was hiding it from you." In a confessional, Matt doubled down, claiming he thought it was fine as long as we were all there. But for Amani, it wasn't about the act, it was about the lack of communication. "It's about the communication," she snapped. "I just want to be treated with consideration." That's it. But the hot tub confession wasn't the only blow. Earlier that day, during the trio's road trip to Guadalajara, Annie dropped another bombshell. She hadn't told her family about Amani. Instead, she lied to her brother, telling him Matt was her boyfriend and Amani was just a friend. From the back seat, Amani erupted. "Ima FING third will coming all the way to Guadalajara. Do you hear this?" In her confessional, she broke down, admitting the moment was deeply triggering. "For most of my life, I had to hide who I am in my culture. I promised myself I would never do that again." Annie tried to explain that her strict Catholic upbringing made it difficult to be honest about her poly relationship, fearing her family would cut ties completely. "My family is my whole life," she tearfully said. Not all people understand the situation. But for Amani, the damage was already done. In a joint confessional with Matt, she voiced her growing fears. "We thought we'd go home, start planning our divorce and wedding, and now we find out she's still hiding us. I don't think she's taking this seriously." Back at the hotel, Matt and Amani sat down to process everything. Amani, hurt but trying to stay composed, told her husband, "I'm done being hidden. I lived like that my whole life. I deserve better." "We deserve better." Matt agreed that any secret keeping had created an awkward situation, but suggested they take the night to cool off. However, Amani's fury was far from over, And this time, it turned toward her own husband. After Annie admitted to sleeping with Matt, Amani turned to him with a piercing glare. "You didn't even tell me." Matt looked stunned. He tried to defend himself, but Amani wasn't having it. "I have more respect for her telling me than I do for you right now." Matt, clearly cornered, muttered, "It's all my fault. I get it." But in a confessional, his frustration bubbled over. "I feel like I'm being set up to fail by both of them. The fact that Annie made it sound like I was hiding something, it's like they're ganging up on me." He continued, his voice laced with confusion and anxiety. "I'm trying to build something real here, but every move I make seems to offend one of them. And honestly, I can't read their minds. Now I've got to read the mind of two women. They're going to think alike. It's double trouble." The Throuple's romantic fantasy has crumbled under secrets, miscommunication, and mistrust. With emotions running high and loyalties shifting fast, fans are now wondering, will Amani walk away for good? Can Annie truly commit to being honest about her relationship? And is Matt caught in the middle, or playing both sides? One thing's for sure, this Mexico trip might just mark the beginning of the end for the once promising trio.
I think Colt's probably more like the carrot.
Why is Colt the mini?
Because that's what I've heard.
I'd say soft, yeah.
I would say Colt is pretty much around here. Soft, hard.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Things are heating up and getting messy on TLC's Hunt for Love, and this time, Colt Johnson finds himself in the middle of humiliation, injury, and brutal cast mockery. What started as a lighthearted group game quickly spiraled into controversy, with viewers left questioning how far is too far when it comes to reality TV humor. It all began with yet another devastating leg injury for Colt, a 90-day Fiancé veteran who's no stranger to painful moments, both physical and emotional. During a recent episode, chaos broke out as an ambulance arrived to rush Colt to the hospital after a serious fall caused, allegedly, by none other than Courtney. According to Courtney's tearful explanation, it all happened shortly after breakfast. They were heading down the stairs in the rain when Colt slipped and fell hard, leaving him in agony. Viewers watched in shock as he lay on a stretcher, clearly in distress, while Courtney sobbed uncontrollably at his side. Fellow castmates Tiffany, Jeniffer, and Tim looked on, stunned by the unfolding emergency. Fans were floored. Colt has already dealt with multiple leg issues in the past, and now another traumatic injury? The timing couldn't have been worse, especially since he joined Hunt for Love to move forward in life, putting his rocky past, including his split from ex-wife Vanessa, behind him. In fact, Colt had just shared at a May 19th house party that he was done with the past and ready to re-enter the dating scene in Tulum, blessed by his ever-present mother Debbie, and finally free from old drama. But while his body healed, his dignity took another hit, and this time, it wasn't accidental. During a wild group challenge inspired by Girls' Night, the producers introduced a controversial size game. Each female cast member was asked to choose a vegetable that best represented the size and shape of their male co-stars' penises. And the first name up? Colt Johnson. What happened next left fans cringing. Tim awkwardly picked a thin carrot, admitting he wasn't sure, but probably something like that. Tiffany held up a mini sausage, giggling, "That's just what I've heard." Courtney, the very woman involved in his injury, chimed in, saying it's gonna be soft. Then came May, who took it even further by grabbing 2 broken carrot pieces, claiming Colt's manhood looked like a rounded bottom and a hard top, a bizarre, almost cartoonish insult. Jeniffer jumped in with support, laughing and calling the comparison unfortunate. The group cackled as the game continued, turning the moment into a roast session aimed squarely at Colt. But the backlash came fast. Fans flooded the comment section, slamming the cast for crossing the line into body shaming and bullying. Some pointed out that Colt was clearly not part of the joke and may have felt humiliated watching the episode back, especially while still recovering from an injury. Others raised eyebrows at Tim's involvement, asking why a male cast member was even participating in a penis-size guessing game. Are they just pampering him, or was this seriously the producer's idea of entertainment? One viewer wrote. Another fan added, "Imagine if the genders were reversed. Would people be laughing then?" There was a wave of sympathy for Colt, with many saying he deserved better after everything he's gone through. Some even accused the cast of ganging up on him while he was physically vulnerable, turning a lighthearted moment into public ridicule. Now, fans are asking, has Hunt for Love crossed a boundary with its entertainment? Will Colt speak out about being mocked on national TV? And will TLC address the increasing discomfort viewers feel over these so-called fun moments? As Hunt for Love continues to peel back layers of drama, relationships, and rivalries, one thing's certain. For Colt Johnson, this trip to Tulum may leave more emotional scars than romantic memories.
What about this?
Your boobs is out.
I'm gonna have a jacket on the airplane. A nice, big, fluffy coat that covers everything. I've toned it down a lot, and I've actually toned down my lashes. What do you think? You didn't say anything.
They look the same to me.
What do you mean they look the same? They're not like strips where they're like spiders.
Darcy Silva, the ever-glamorous 90 Day Fiancé star, twirls in front of the mirror, admiring her latest look. A daring black strappy dress with a plunging neckline, paired with sky-high heels. She's ready for her first trip to Bulgaria with husband Georgi Rusev. But there's just one problem. Georgi is not having it. Georgi, usually the calm and collected half of the couple, finally snaps. Darcy, we've talked about this, he exclaims, running a hand through his hair in frustration. You can't wear that in Bulgaria. My family, my parents, they won't understand this. Darcy, ever the drama queen, pouts. But Georgie, I toned it down. Look, I even got natural lashes. She bats her eyelashes for emphasis before throwing on a long fur coat that, let's be real, does nothing to cover the deep cleavage and short hemline. Georgie stares, deadpan. This is not toned down. You look the same. In a confessional, Georgie vents. In Bulgaria, women dress modestly, especially when meeting family. If she shows up like this, people will stare. They might even. He trails off, shaking his head. I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea about her. Meanwhile, Darcy defends her fashion choices. I'm a confident woman. I should be able to wear what makes me feel good. But Georgie isn't backing down. It's not about confidence, it's about respect. He fires back. The tension isn't just about the outfit. Earlier, during her 50th birthday celebration with twin sister Stacy, Darcy couldn't help but notice the way Stacy and Florian effortlessly showed affection. A sweet kiss here, a loving glance there, it made her long for the same from Georgie. I see the love Florian gives Stacy, Darcy admits in a vulnerable moment. I want that. I want us to be a power couple. But Georgie, ever the reserved European, struggles to match her level of PDA. Back to the packing chaos, Georgie finally loses his patience. Darcy, listen to me, he says, voice rising. I've told you 100 times, my culture is different. My parents are traditional. If you show up like this, he gestures to her outfit, they won't take you seriously. Darcy crosses her arms. So now you're ashamed of me? Georgie sighs. It's not about shame. It's about respecting where we're going. As the couple heads to the airport, the question lingers. Will Darcy compromise for George's family? Or will her signature style cause a scandal in Bulgaria? One thing's for sure, this trip is about to test their marriage like never before. Cut to preview of next week's drama. Darcy's jaw-dropping outfit turns heads in George's hometown, and his parents are not impressed. What do you think? Should Darcy dress how she wants, or should she respect George's culture? Sound off in the comments. Jasmine Pineda has always been tight-lipped about her age. But you can't hide anything from 90 Day Fiancé viewers for a long time. She might do everything under the sun to keep her youth and drama alive for the show. However, this doesn't mean she would be able to hide her true numbers from the world. While Jasmine isn't leaving any chance of bringing Gino down, fans have dug deep into her past and have come up with her real age. Well, the spoiler is that she isn't the age we believe her to be. Is this true? What is this all about? How old is Jasmine Pineda? Keep on reading to learn some shocking details about this controversy. 90 Day Fiancé star Jasmine Pineda has a really interesting background. She is basically an Afro-Panamanian and doesn't have a relationship with her father. The latter abandoned her during her initial days, and Pineda has talked about her childhood traumas as well. She has two sisters, Zuela Nigera and Liz, and she has even funded their education. 90 Day Fiancé merchandise. Jasmine is a well-versed person when it comes to education. She holds 7 degrees. The celeb used to work as an English teacher in Panama when she met Gino Palazzolo. The celeb further has 2 sons from her previous marriage. One of Pineda's sons is a child with special needs, while the other one never fails to make her proud. 90 Day Fiancé viewers have witnessed Jasmine Pineda's transformation in the last few years. She has a constant desire to alter her looks and has undergone the knife several times. The celeb wants to maintain her youth, which has made it a bit hard to guess her age. Apparently, a Reddit thread recently talked about Jasmine's age. The OP noted that the current season showed Jasmine's age to be 38. The thread stated, "It feels like she has been 38 years old for 10 years. They believe that Pineda might have asked the franchise to show her age 38, as she didn't want to reveal the real numbers. Several viewers agreed with the OP and wondered if Jasmine was in her mid-40s. However, some critics were quick to dig into the matter and noted that Jasmine was 34 when she debuted on the show. A user even shared a screenshot of the episode where 34 was evidently written. Apparently, Pineda has had back-to-back seasons, because of which fans have now started to feel that they have been watching her for a decade. Several sources have confirmed that Jasmine's original birth date is August 21st, 1986. This makes it clear that she is only 38 years old, and she wasn't lying about her age. Apparently, her looks can be a bit deceiving due to her regular workout sessions, which keep her skin healthy, as well as her treatments.